Good evening. This is All India Radio. I'm Sunil Verma and with me is Prashant Kumar Sinha with the evening news. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi salutes brave soldiers, lauds Indian Army on the occasion of Kargil Vijay Divas. In his Mann Ki Baat program, Prime Minister urges people to use Indian handloom and handicrafts as much as possible. Prime Minister emphasizes on self-reliant India with a resolve to learn and teach something new. COVID-19 recovery rate improves to 63.92%. Donor Minister Jitendra Singh offers all possible flood assistance to Assam to restore infrastructure damages. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has greeted the nation on the occasion of Kargil Vijay Divas, calling it a victory of high morale and bravery of armed forces. Addressing the nation in Mann Ki Baat program on All India Radio today, Mr. Modi saluted the brave soldiers as well as their mothers. He said it was on this very day 21 years ago that the army unfurled the flag of victory in the Battle of Kargil.
कारगिल का युद्ध जिन परिस्थितियों में हुआ था वो भारत कभी नहीं भूल सकता। पाकिस्तान ने बड़े बड़े मंसूबे पालकर भारत की भूमि हथियाने और अपने यहाँ चल रहे आंतरिक कलह से जान भटकाने को लेकर दुस्साहस किया था। भारत तब पाकिस्तान से अच्छे संबंधों के लिए प्रयासरत था, लेकिन कहा जाता है ना, बैरू अकारन सब काहू सौ, जो कर हित अनहित ताहू सौ, यानी दुष्ट का स्वभाव ही होता है हर किसी से बिना वजह दुश्मनी करना।
Prime Minister Modi lauded the Indian Army and its valor and said the whole world witnessed the country's might.
भारत की मित्रता के जवाब में पाकिस्तान द्वारा पीठ में छुरा घोंपने की कोशिश हुई थी, लेकिन उसके बाद भारत की वीर सेना ने जो पराक्रम दिखाया, भारत ने अपनी जो ताकत दिखाई, उसे पूरी दुनिया ने देखा। आप कल्पना कर सकते हैं, ऊंचे पहाड़ों पर बैठा हुआ दुश्मन और नीचे से लड़ रही हमारी सेनाएं, हमारे वीर जवान, लेकिन जीत पहाड़ की ऊंचाई की नहीं, भारत की सेनाओं के ऊंचे हौसले और सच्ची वीरता की हुई।
The Prime Minister said that in times of war, whatever people say or do has immense bearing on the morale of the soldiers.
युद्ध की परिस्थिति में हम जो बात कहते हैं, करते हैं, उसका सीमा पर डटे सैनिक के मनोबल पर, उसके परिवार के मनोबल पर बहुत गहरा असर पड़ता है। ये बात हमें कभी भूलनी नहीं चाहिए और इसलिए हमारा आचार, हमारा व्यवहार, हमारी वाणी, हमारे बयान, हमारी मर्यादा, हमारे लक्ष्य, सभी कसौटी में ये जरूर रहना चाहिए कि हम जो कर रहे हैं, कह रहे हैं, उससे सैनिकों का मनोबल बढ़े, उनका सम्मान बढ़े। राष्ट्र सर्वोपरि का मंत्र लिए एकता के सूत्र में बंधे देशवासी हमारे सैनिकों की ताकत को कई हजार गुना बढ़ा देते हैं।
Mr. Modi said India has fought against COVID-19 unitedly and their recovery rate is better as compared to other countries.
पिछले कुछ महीनों से पूरे देश ने एकजुट होकर जिस तरह कोरोना से मुकाबला किया है, उसने अनेक आशंकाओं को गलत साबित कर दिया है। आज हमारे देश में रिकवरी रेट अन्य देशों के मुकाबले बेहतर है। साथ ही हमारे देश में कोरोना से मृत्यु दर भी दुनिया के ज्यादातर देशों से काफी कम है। निश्चित रूप से एक भी व्यक्ति को खोना दुखद है, लेकिन भारत अपने लाखों देशवासियों का जीवन बचाने में सफल भी रहा है। लेकिन साथियों, कोरोना का खतरा टला नहीं है। कई स्थानों पर यह तेजी से फैल रहा है। हमें बहुत ही ज्यादा सतर्क रहने की जरूरत है। हमें ये ध्यान रखना है कि कोरोना अब भी उतना ही घातक है जितना शुरू में था। इसलिए हमें पूरी सावधानी बरतनी है।
The Prime Minister cautioned the people to remain extra vigilant as the hazards of corona are far from over. He advised everyone to wear face masks whenever they are out in public in order to protect themselves and others from the disease.
कभी-कभी हमें मास्क से तकलीफ होती है और मन करता है कि चेहरे पर से मास्क हटा दें। बातचीत करना शुरू करते हैं, जब मास्क की जरूरत होती है ज्यादा, उसी समय हम मास्क हटा देते हैं। ऐसे समय मैं आपसे आग्रह करूंगा, पल भर के लिए उन डॉक्टर्स का स्मरण कीजिए, उन नर्सों का स्मरण कीजिए, हमारे उन कोरोना वॉरियर्स का स्मरण कीजिए। वो मास्क पहन करके घंटों तक हम सबके जीवन को बचाने के लिए जुटे रहते हैं। 8-8, 10-10 घंटे तक मास्क पहने रखते हैं। क्या उनको तकलीफ नहीं होती होगी? थोड़ा सा उनका स्मरण कीजिए।
Mr. Modi urged the youth and people to take a pledge of freedom from the pandemic this Independence Day. He asked people to take a resolve for a self-reliant India, a resolve to learn and teach something new, and a resolve to earnestly carry out duties. Stressing on the need for innovation, Prime Minister Modi talked about how the youth in Bihar have started to cultivate pearls after gathering information and taking training in Jaipur and Bhubaneswar. They're not only earning and becoming self-reliant, but also training the migrant laborers returning from other states at Muzaffarpur, Begusarai and Patna. The Prime Minister emphasized that the correct and positive approach always goes a long way in transforming distressing times into opportunities, adversities into triggers of development and progress. Mr. Modi highlighted how the youth and women have come up with new experiments on the basis of their talent and skills in the present times of COVID-19. He said many self-help groups in Bihar have begun making masks with Madhubani motifs, which are very popular. He said the nation will celebrate National Handloom Day on 7th of August. Mr. Modi said the handloom and handicrafts of India encompass a glorious history of hundreds of years.
भारत का हैंडलूम, हमारा हैंडीक्राफ्ट अपने आप में सैकड़ों वर्षों का गौरवमय इतिहास समेटे हुए हैं। हम सभी का प्रयास होना चाहिए कि न सिर्फ भारतीय हैंडलूम और हैंडीक्राफ्ट का ज्यादा से ज्यादा उपयोग करें, बल्कि इसके बारे में हमें ज्यादा से ज्यादा लोगों को बताना भी चाहिए। भारत का हैंडलूम और हैंडीक्राफ्ट कितना रीच है, इसमें कितनी विविधता है, ये दुनिया जितना ज्यादा जानेगी उतना ही हमारे लोकल कारीगरों और बुनकरों को लाभ होगा।
The Prime Minister said a large part of the country is grappling with floods. He said the whole nation stands by those affected by this disaster.
बारिश के मौसम में देश का एक बड़ा हिस्सा बाढ़ से भी जूझ रहा है। बिहार, असम जैसे राज्यों के कई क्षेत्रों में तो बाढ़ ने काफी मुश्किलें पैदा की हुई है। यानी एक तरफ कोरोना है तो दूसरी तरफ ये एक और चुनौती है। ऐसे में सभी सरकारें, एनडीआरएफ की टीमें, राज्य की आपदा नियंत्रण टीमें, स्वयंसेवी संस्थाएं सब एक साथ मिलकर जुटे हुए हैं। हर तरह से राहत और बचाव के काम कर रहे हैं। इस आपदा से प्रभावित सभी लोगों के साथ पूरा देश खड़ा है।
The Prime Minister congratulated Chandrika Prasad Santokhi for becoming the new president of Suriname and wished him the best on behalf of 130 crore Indians.
During his Mann Ki Baat address, Prime Minister Narendra Modi spoke to a student from Namakkal in Tamil Nadu named Kanika, who has scored 490 out of 500 in her Plus 2 public examinations. Kanika says she is highly inspired by the Prime Minister's interaction.
I'm so happy that Narendra Modi ji has spoken about the success and he has been motivating all the children in our country. I think I am a very lucky person to share my emotions with our PM Narendra Modi ji. I should succeed further in my life. I should become a doctor in AFMC and serve to the country and our army.
More from our Chennai correspondent.
The young achiever Kanika is the daughter of a driver in Namakkal. Against all odds, he has secured admission for his elder daughter in a medical college. The younger one, Kanika, with whom the Prime Minister today interacted, is also nourishing ambition to become a doctor with the intention of serving the country's armed forces. To come forward in life, the Prime Minister referred to the student and her father as the sources of inspiration, which they truly are. Jai Singh, AR News, Chennai.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi praised skilled artisans of Assam, Tripura and Manipur for value addition to bamboo products with the aim of making the country Atmanirbhar. The Prime Minister-led government has set up a new National Bamboo Mission, NBM, to focus on development of the bamboo sector in the country. Now the Northeastern Council Cane and Bamboo Development Council acts as a coordinating and facilitating agency for the Northeastern region. The Northeastern region has now slowly become the bamboo industry's hub as more youth and entrepreneurs are engaging in this craft with support from the government. More on this from our Imphal correspondent.
Mr. V. Ginkanpao, a 27-year-old youth from Jenham Lanka of Churachandpur district, Manipur, has no boundary of delight when Prime Minister praised the artisans for value addition to the products of bamboo in his Mann Ki Baat edition today. Mr. Ginkanpao has been making bamboo water bottles, pen, tiffin box and other items from past many years. He said that he started his career as a craftsman since his school day and established his own Jogam Bamboo Works.
I started my handicraft entrepreneur in my high school life. In 2014, I got registered in DIC and started Jogam Bamboo Works. I collect the raw material from my locality, also other places from the town. We have produced a variety items of bamboo handicraft. We sell our product through online or by shipping from other states. My buyers are some are from in Oklahoma, Dubai, Singapore, or any different part of the state. I'm really interested in bamboo handicraft. Bamboo handicraft is real sustainable.
As the central government has been encouraging and focusing on promotion of bamboo sector in northeastern region, more youths and entrepreneurs on the sector have come up in Manipur from past years. Even though Jogam Bamboo Works started as one-man endeavor, it now could provide jobs to a number of young craftsmen of the district. This is JJ Thoksong from Imphal for AIR News.
In the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir, Mohammad Iqbal, a municipal president of Duru in Anantnag district of Kashmir Valley, was applauded by the Prime Minister in his Mann Ki Baat today. His services were recognized by PM Modi for his contribution towards society by making a low-cost sprayer machine at the cost of Rs 50,000 only. In this way, he addressed the issue of sanitization in his area in a very meticulous manner.
मेरे पास आइडिया आया जब लॉकडाउन पूरे इंडिया में पड़ा तो उस वक्त जहाज भी और ट्रांसपोर्ट भी बंद था, क्योंकि जो बूम स्प्रे मुझे सूरत गुजरात से लाने के लिए मैंने ऑनलाइन बुकिंग करनी थी, बट ड्यू टू नॉन एबिलिटी ऑफ द ट्रांसपोर्ट एंड सिस्टम तो मैंने क्या किया, 500 लीटर का बूम स्प्रे कोई 3 लाख रुपए में आता है, कोई 1 लाख रुपए उसका किराया आता था। तो हमने सोचा कि हमने हमारे पास क्यों ना एक मशीन हो, 2500 लीटर हमने टंकी एक बनाई, उसमें हमने टेक्निकली जोड़ा, हमारे करीबन 18 लाख रुपए बचे उसमें, क्योंकि वो पूरे इलाके को सैनिटाइज करता था एरिया।
The government today said that the highest ever number of recoveries of COVID-19 were registered in a single day today, and more than 36,000 patients were discharged in the past 24 hours. This has taken the total number of recovered cases to 8,85,576. The Union Health Ministry said the recovery rate has reached 63.92%. The gap between recovered patients and active COVID-19 cases has further increased to over 4,17,000. The number of recovered cases are 1.89 times the number of active cases. The ministry has advised all state and union territory governments to keep up with and effectively implement the strategy of test, track and treat. For the first time, a record number of more than 4,40,000 tests have been conducted in a single day. With this, the number of tests per million has further increased to 11,805 and cumulative testing to over 1,62 lakh. The ministry said for the first time, government laboratories have set a new record of testing 3,62,153 samples. The private laboratories have also scaled a new high of over 79,000 samples tested in a single day. The aggressive testing, along with ramped-up hospital infrastructure by combining public and private sector efforts, has enabled early identification and prompt triaging of COVID-19 patients, leading to lower fatalities. The ministry said the case fatality rate is progressively falling and currently it is at 2.31%. India has one of the lowest fatality rates in the world.
The recovery rate of COVID patients in Delhi has further improved to 87.95% today. It continues to be the state with the highest recovery percentage in the country. The city recorded recovery of 1,807 patients in the last 24 hours, taking the total number of recovered patients till date to 1,14,875. A total of 1,075 new confirmed cases of coronavirus were reported in the national capital during the last 24 hours. With this, the total number of COVID cases in the city has reached 130,606. The Delhi government confirmed that 21 deaths have been reported in the last 24 hours, taking the total to 3,827. The national capital is also witnessing a decrease in the number of active corona cases gradually, and with a further decrease of 753 such cases, the total number of active corona cases in the city stands at 11,904. With increased testing, the city has achieved the remarkable mark of conducting nearly 50,000 corona tests per million of its population. In Uttar Pradesh, the number of corona patients is continuously increasing along with government's effort to contain the COVID-19 spread. Fresh 3,260 COVID-19 cases were registered today, taking the total number of cases in the state to 66,988. Our Lucknow correspondent has filed this report.
The death toll due to COVID-19 reached 1,426 with 39 fresh casualties recorded during last 24 hours in the state. Capital Lucknow continued to be the hottest spot where a record highest 449 positive cases were reported today. While Kanpur reported 202 cases, Badia 128, Gautam Buddha Nagar 110, Gorakhpur 107 and Bareilly 101. State Industrial Development Commissioner Alok Tandon told media that there is a record 23,921 active cases in the state, while the number of recovered patients stand at 41,641, including 1,741 people who were discharged from hospitals today. MS Yadav, AIR News, Lucknow.
You are listening to the evening news on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Prime Minister Narendra Modi salutes brave soldiers, Lord's Indian Army on the occasion of Kargil Vijay Divas. In his Mann Ki Baat program, Prime Minister urges people to use Indian handloom and handicrafts as much as possible. Prime Minister emphasizes on self-reliant India with a resolve to learn and teach something new. COVID-19 recovery rate improves to 63.92%. Donor Minister Jitendra Singh offers all possible flood assistance to Assam to restore infrastructure damages. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts.
The 26th of July, 1999. The Army saga of valor leaves a lasting imprint on the sands of time. Vijay Parva salutes the gallantry, commitment, fortitude and indomitable spirit of our brave hearts. On the unscalable heights of Kargil, an exemplary edict was inscribed in blood. Never again, maybe, for the sake of the motherland, the chance to make the supreme sacrifice. The enemy will be given a befitting reply. Each time, every time, come rain, storm, fire or ice. Vijay Divas. On the 26th of July, a grateful nation salutes her brave soldiers.
Kargil Vijay Divas is being celebrated across the country today. The nation is remembering its war heroes and paying tributes to martyrs on Kargil Vijay Divas. The day marks the victory of Indian Armed Forces in Operation Vijay in 1999 when they evicted the infiltrators backed by Pakistani army from high outposts in Kargil sector. The Kargil war was fought for more than 60 days and ended with India regaining control of all the previously held territory. The victory of Tiger Hill was one of the crucial achievements in the 60-day-long conflict. Indian soldiers fought the Kargil war under the toughest conditions on difficult terrain at an altitude of 18,000 feet. As part of 21st anniversary of Kargil Vijay Divas, tributes were paid to the martyrs at Kargil War Memorial in Dras today. More from our correspondent.
As a part of 21st anniversary of Kargil Vijay Divas, General Officer Commanding of Fire and Fury, Lieutenant General Harvinder Singh led wreath at Kargil War Memorial in Dras today. In a low-key, at an emotional event, Lieutenant General Harvinder Singh paid floral tributes to martyrs at Veer Bhumi in Kargil War Memorial. At the foothills of Tololing Peak, the General Officer Commanding interacted with the soldiers and raised Bharat Mata Ki Jai slogans. Lieutenant General Harvinder Singh met soldiers of various ranks and remembered his association with them at various places and in different capacities. Due to COVID-19 pandemic, this year events were limited to a single day. Dras War Memorial has been decorated for celebrations of 21st year of victory in 1919 Kargil War with full respect. With Anayat Ali, this is Ramesh Chandra for All India Radio News from Dras, Kargil.
President Ramnath Kovind has said that Kargil Vijay Divas is a symbol of fearless determination and exceptional valor of our armed forces. Mr. Kovind saluted the soldiers who fought the enemy and laid down their life to defend Bharat Mata. In a tweet, the President said, "The nation is forever grateful to them and their families." Defence Minister Rajnath Singh today paid tributes to the fallen soldiers who fought valiantly during Kargil War at National War Memorial today. Mr. Singh, along with Minister of State for Defence, Shripad Nayak, Chief of Defence Staff General Bipin Rawat, Army Chief General Manoj Mukund Naravane, Navy Chief Admiral Karambir Singh and Air Force Chief Air Chief Marshal Rakesh Kumar Singh Bhaduria laid wreaths at the National War Memorial and saluted the martyrs.
सरहद की रक्षा की खातिर अड़े रहे वो सीना तान, शहीद हुए जो वीर सेनानी, अजर अमर उनका बलिदान, अजर अमर उनका बलिदान।
कारगिल दिवस पर सेना के वीर शहीद सेनानियों को देश का शत शत नमन।
Prime Minister Narendra Modi will launch high-throughput COVID-19 testing facilities tomorrow via video conferencing. These facilities will ramp up the testing capacity in the country and help in strengthening early detection and treatment, thus assisting in controlling the spread of the pandemic. These 3 high-throughput testing facilities have been set up strategically at the ICMR National Institute of Cancer Prevention and Research in Noida, the ICMR National Institute for Research in Reproductive Health in Mumbai, and the ICMR National Institute of Cholera and Enteric Diseases in Kolkata. They will be able to test over 10,000 samples a day. These laboratories will also reduce turnaround time and exposure of the laboratory personnel to infectious clinical materials. The laboratories are enabled to test diseases other than COVID as well. In our series Expert Speak on All India Radio, we bring you views of leading medical experts on COVID-19. Talking to AIR News, Dr. S. Rajeshwari, Department of Anesthesiology, AIIMS, has advised people to stay at home and to maintain hand hygiene.
We have seen that there is a severe shortage of ICU facilities in the most developed of countries. And in order that we do not face the same calamity in our country, it is vital that we do not stress the health system by becoming more sick and bringing more patients. And for this, I urge that you must stay at home and must maintain hand hygiene to reduce the number of patients coming into the hospital.
Dr. Purva Mathur, Professor Lab Medicine, AIIMS, has said that social distancing is very important to check the spread of coronavirus.
Coronavirus spreads by droplets when a person coughs or sneezes. These droplets do not travel beyond 1 meter, and that is why it's important to maintain social distancing.
Union Minister Dr. Jitendra Singh today spoke to Assam Chief Minister Sarbananda Sonowal on telephone and offered all possible flood assistance from the donor ministry to restore and repair infrastructure damages caused by incessant rains, floods and landslides. Dr. Jitendra Singh said that North Eastern Council, under the aegis of donor ministry, will extend all possible help. He said the ministry will also coordinate financial and other help from other agencies of government and other sources. He assured that well-being of the people of the Northeast is top priority for the Narendra Modi government. The minister also informed that the central government is constantly monitoring the flood situation in Assam, Arunachal Pradesh and other affected states in the Northeast. He said Prime Minister Narendra Modi is personally inquiring about it and taking regular updates. Assam Chief Secretary Kumar Sanjay Krishna said that there is no dearth of funds to help flood-affected people. Talking to AIR, the Chief Secretary said that people in the relief camps are getting proper care by the administration. Mr. Krishna said that the state government has enough funds to help affected districts. He said that help would be required once damage assessment is done by the district administrations. The Chief Secretary said that the Prime Minister is regularly inquiring about the flood and other situations.
We have got enough fund, so there is no problem at all. The help will be required once we do the assessment of damage. That is the time when we'll take it up with the Government of India. Government of India has been always forthcoming, providing all necessary helps. Honorable Prime Minister has been regularly in touch with the Honorable Chief Minister and inquiring about the flood and the various steps taken by the state government. So the Government of India is quite considerate for the state of Assam, and I'm sure that once the assessments have been done as per the norms, the Government of India will provide necessary help to us.
Our correspondent reports that 26 lakh people are reeling under floods in 24 districts. Nearly 45 lakh people are staying at relief camps in the states. In Bihar, the situation continues to be grim in flood-affected areas of the state. The worst affected districts are Darbhanga, Muzaffarpur, Gopalganj, Sitamarhi, Supol and West Champaran. About 11 lakh people spread over 10 districts are reeling under the impact of floods. Relief and rescue operations are in full swing.
Around 11 members belonging to the Sikh and Hindu minority community of Afghanistan arrived in India today. The External Affairs Ministry said that Nidan Singh Sachdeva, who was released from captivity on the 18th of July, is also among those who reached Delhi today. India has granted appropriate visa and facilitated their travel to India. The External Affairs Ministry said India appreciates the efforts of the Afghanistan government in extending necessary support for the safe return of these families. The first container train from India arrives in Bangladesh. The first container train carrying FMCG products and other items arrived at the Benapole railway station at Bangladesh on Sunday. It had started from Marchar Hat station near Kolkata on Friday with a consignment of soap, shampoo, other FMCG items and textile fabric in 50 containers. The railway advisor in the High Commission of India, Anita Barik, told Prasar Bharati special correspondent at Dhaka that the container train service is going to be a regular service connecting various terminals of the Indian Railways network to Bangladesh.
And now let us take a look at the weather forecast for tomorrow. The national capital Delhi will have a generally cloudy sky with light rain or drizzle. It will have a minimum temperature of around 27 degrees Celsius and maximum of 35 degrees. Mumbai will experience a generally cloudy sky with moderate rain. The minimum temperature will be 26 degrees Celsius and the maximum temperature will be around 33 degrees. Chennai will have generally cloudy sky with light rain. The temperature will hover between 25 and 35 degrees Celsius. Kolkata will have partly cloudy sky with 1 or 2 spells of rain or thunder showers. The minimum temperature in the metropolis will be around 28 degrees Celsius while the maximum will be 35 degrees. On to the north, in the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir, the minimum temperature will be 24 degrees Celsius in Jammu, while the maximum will be around 34 degrees Celsius. The city will have partly cloudy sky with possibility of rain or thunderstorm or dust storm. In Srinagar, the minimum temperature will be around 19 degrees, while the maximum will be 31 degrees. The city will have mainly clear sky becoming partly cloudy towards afternoon or evening. Ladakh will have mainly clear sky becoming partly cloudy towards afternoon or evening. The temperature will hover between 15 and 28 degrees Celsius. In Gilgit, the temperature will hover between 18 and 36 degrees Celsius. It will experience mainly clear sky becoming partly cloudy towards afternoon or evening. In Muzaffarabad, there will be partly cloudy sky with 1 or 2 spells of rain or thunder showers. The minimum temperature will be 22 degrees Celsius, while the maximum temperature will be around 33 degrees Celsius. Chandigarh will have generally cloudy sky with 1 or 2 spells of rain or thunder showers. The minimum temperature in the city will be 26 degrees Celsius, while the maximum will be around 34 degrees. And now, before we end, the headlines once again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi salutes brave soldiers, lauds Indian Army on the occasion of Kargil Vijay Divas. In his Man Ki Baat program, Prime Minister urges people to use Indian handloom and handicrafts as much as possible. Prime Minister emphasizes on self-reliant India with a resolve to learn and teach something new. COVID-19 recovery rate improves to 63.92%. Donor Minister Jitendra Singh offers all possible flood assistance to Assam to restore infrastructure damages. For details of these stories and more, log on to our website www.newsonair.com and News on AIR app. And that is all in the evening news. Good night.